Hello and play-troughs, I'm babifly and today I'm playing Sigma Theory, a game from mi-clos Studios. The game has been released 8 months ago, in November I think, and insofar it has 2 extra DLCs to play. I'm quite fascinated by the game. It's an espionage game paired with some technology racing. So the premise of the game is that we are the leaders of a national spying agency and we try to acquire as much technology as we can before our opponents do. So essentially, there are going to be many countries that are competing us for the same thing, and it's going to be quite an interesting race to the technology thing. So without further ado, let's start the game and create a new account. So the game offers 4 different modes. The fourth one has recently been added. Um, Most of you might have played the story mode. You might be familiar with it. It's a mode that allows you to. It sheds some light to the story of the game, and it is based in a fictional, futuristic world based in Earth, and it sheds some really good light of what's going on in the world of Sigma theory. You should play it out, and throughout the playthrough, you're gonna have some agents unlocked, which might be quite helpful in other games as well. So another option to play is the custom mode, and this option is available for, well, it's mostly um, favored by the people that wish to have some sort of customization in the game. Personally speaking, I'm much more of a vanilla player myself, so that's why today we're going to be playing the classic mode. However, the fourth mode, called the daily challenge, is also quite interesting for competitive people like myself. And in each day, if you log in the game and click on the daily challenge, you'll be granted a team of agents, and you need to compete against other people in the global leaderboard. All the rest of the players are going to have the same setup with the same agents, and you're going to play with the same in the same setup. You're going to play against each other. So the classic mode is what we're going to play today, and without further ado, let's step right into it. So mi-clos Studio has also published a game, developed and published a game called Out There, which is a personal favorite of mine. I might be playing it on the subsequent run through. So for now, let's stick to Sigma Theory and let's create our new account. Let's input our personal details. So we will create the leader of the intelligence agency we're going to play as. Today, I wish to play with the DLC, so I'm going to play as the nation of Brazil. And Brazil has a rather interesting ability. It allows me, the first agent to be recruited by Brazil, will almost never be discovered, even if they fail a mission, which means that I'm going to have a second chance into doing something without getting found out by my opponent, which is kind of good, without getting my cover blown. It can be quite helpful. So let's create a man. So I'm going to be a man, and I put in my name, the name in a random generator. So I'm going to be playing as Thiago da Silva, and I'm going to be the leader of an intelligence agency of Brazil. And now we need to create our spouse. In this game, the spouse is the main, so to say, antagonist of the game, not directly but indirectly, because the spouse's country will be competing against ours, and through our spouse they're gonna be trying to get as much info about us as possible. So in the game, I'm gonna have my spouse be woman, and I'm gonna choose a nationality, possibly from the first DLC, that is Nigeria. Yes, so I want my spouse to be Kate Thermidor or Thermidare. Uh, I do apologize for my pronunciation. I'm a Greek guy. I'm not sure how the pronunciation of certain names might be. So let's go with the K Thermidor for now. So she's going to be my spouse, and I'm going to be playing kind of against her, but it's not set in stone. You're going to find out later on. So, yes, I'm just confirming all these details, and then we're off. So now we are in the ambassador's office. This is the Brazilian ambassador, and he's basically our boss. So he says, Coronel da Silva, I'm Carlos Batista, and I ordered your recruitment. I'll be your superior for the next few months. You'll be directly accountable to me. Tiago, as a specialist in both field operations and delicate diplomatic negotiations, your place is at the head of counter-espionage. But the Brazilian government has an even more important mission for you. Several days ago, the scientific community developed the Sigma theory, a scientific method capable of producing rapid advances with the potential to throw the world into chaos. Ooh, it's gonna be quite a race, right? Within weeks, we'll see the emergence of new weapons with unimaginable destructive power, as well as tools that can influence the economy, society, energy, transport, and even the human mind. It sounds like quite the end of times thing, right? Our civilization will change beyond recognition. Ooh. Brazilian leaders want to monopolize Sigma technologies. The country that controls Sigma will control the world. Your mission, discover these Sigma technologies with the best scientists at your side. As I said to you, it's kind of a racing thing, racing to the end thing. Do what you must to gather a team of agents and use persuasion, diplomacy, and force to acquire the few scattered scientists able to work on these technologies. We currently have 2 in our own labs. First one is Cicero Moreira da Costa Lima, and he might be a planetary something scientist. We're gonna find out later on. And Camila Hatene, and she's a financial possibly. We're giving you a surveillance drone and a combat drone to assist in your field missions. So the missions are more like James Bond-like, so we're gonna have the access to technology, and with the help of technology and the skills of our agents, we will manage to either fulfill the mission or not. We're going to find out in a bit. So you also have access to diplomatic support to conduct negotiations with the leaders of rival nations. I'm transferring you to our tactical operations so you can proceed with recruiting your team. This is the best part of the game. I'm so fond of it now. We need to recruit 4 different agents for our agency. And all these agents, as you can see, they are a lot, and there are much more to be unlocked as well throughout our gameplay, have the same common premise. So they have the same attributes and stuff. They have mind, that is their intellect. They have brawn, that is their strength, their nationality, their profile details, their traits, their recon section, and the arrest warrants. So the recon section shows what kind of networks this agent might have in the world throughout the globe. For now, Atomium, for example, has a network in France, which means that if he participates in missions in France, he will be able to pull them off quite nicely and quite fast as well. However, the arrest warrants are a bit restrictive, because when this agent enters either of these countries, if there is an arrest warrant, the police officers might try to arrest him, which means that he might be deterred or outright captured by our opponents just because he entered there. Of course, the arrest warrants can easily be removed through either diplomatic or cybernetic means. We're gonna find it out later. So for now, I think that I'll be going with Judge, because I like both the name and your story. Let's step into it. So she's called Judge. Her name is Jinhing Han Kim. I think she's from China. She's a graduate in international law from Beijing and Harvard universities, later an influential diplomat, then Chinese ambassador to Germany. Jing Jing was the first female judge at The Hague, where she gained a reputation for intransigence and severity. Intelligent and capable, Jing Jing suffers for her principles. High-level politics requires a moral flexibility she does not possess. She is no longer wanted. It would be a real shame for a brilliant woman like her to languish in a provincial court. I wholeheartedly agree, especially given the fact that she has three different recon networks. That is in China, in Germany, because she was a diplomat back then, right? In Germany, and in Nigeria. And she also has four different trades. She's a pacifist. She won't carry out orders that are quite brutal. She's loyal to us. She will never resign and never hand out information to our enemies if they capture her and interrogate her. She's a puppet master, which means that most of the times foreign scientists will be easy to defect to our country. And she's a ghost. This is a great thing. She's elusive, so this agent will almost never be detected by counter-espionage, which is a great thing, right? However, I'm quite sure that this might coincide with our ability of Brazil. So if I remember correctly, our first agent will have the same ability. So this is why we get that yellow thing here. This is the ghost. Yes, no matter who we choose, they have that. Oh no, she doesn't. They have that ability, which is good. So yeah, this is the Brazilian power. So let's step into it and try to recruit here. The good thing about recruiting is that we engage into a dialogue. So she asks us a question and we need to answer it properly. By properly, I mean that we need to give her the answer she wants to hear. If we manage to succeed in that, then we will have recruited her successfully. So why would I risk my own skin, she asks us. And the answer will be, I need your insights and skills to make the world a better place. It sounds quite altruistic, and it might be fitting to her. Let's see. That's not particularly interesting, is it? So she actually refused. I don't know why. She gained a reputation. She's not that kind of person that I thought she was. Okay, so we need to go for someone else. Thankfully, we're not losing our ghost trait, which is good. So let's see, what about Enigma? She's a hacker. Okay, she can hack. I mean, cybernetically hack, so engage in hacking operations successfully. She's a loner, she works alone, and she's quite awkward in seduction operations, which is okay, yes. Running away is not an option for her, which is quite dangerous if she's ever found out by the police, but hopefully she will engage more into hacking than running. So she's honest, she's less effective at bribery, she's weak-willed, she cannot coerce scientists to defect easily, but she's a ghost. She cannot be found. She cannot be detected by counter-espionage. And she has a recon in the UK, but she only has one recon. But I wonder, let's try her out, let's see. So let's read her bio. So she's Margaret Popplewell from the United Kingdom. It was when she was in her second year studying mathematics at Oxford that her lecturer noticed Margaret's brilliance. As an autistic mathematical genius, the infinite expanse of numbers transforms before her eyes, and there are no barriers to her intellectual performance. Wow! She didn't question theorems, she shattered them like glass. The Secret Service immediately enrolled her into its ranks in the MI-0 service, the highly select British cryptanalysis service, where Margaret has repeatedly saved the Western world by deciphering enemy military codes and techniques. Melancholic and solitary, socially awkward and focused on her work, Margaret could be a key asset if her talents are used wisely. I definitely want her in my team. She's so interesting. She's such an interesting hacker to work with. Let's see. So she asks us, give me one reason why I should work with you. Okay. I've come to rescue you from your loneliness. Melancholic and solitary, socially awkward and focused on her work. I wonder, is that melancholic and solitary nature a thing she desires, or does it come off like that? Okay, let's. I don't know if that's fitting, but I'm gonna declare to her that I've come to rescue her from her loneliness. Let's see. Congratulations, you've just recruited the best agent there is. So she actually needs some sort of company. And okay, I think she's gonna fit our team quite as well. Great. So you might have noticed that there is a golden medal next to some of the agents. Check out Wolf here. So this gold medal actually signifies that this agent is an elite. So an elite agent is quite expensive to hire, but has some super statistics. So the Wolf now doesn't have any recon or arrest warrants. He's quite of a fighter and of a thinker, but do I want Wolf in my team? I just wonder. Okay, let's find out. So once a brilliant scientist, Laika is a creature created in the Sigma Technology Labs. A human-dog hybrid, it has retained loyalty, instinct, reflexes, physical strength, and flair of its second species. It is the perfect field agent, whether for following a lead, exfiltrating a target, fighting, or seduction. It's an elite agent, loyal, weak-willed, honest, and a knife fighter, especially proficient with blades. So, okay, which means that it will never be unarmed, right? Cool. It can fight with tooth and claw. So let's try to recruit the Wolf. Is that a he or a she? Oh, and she didn't ask us any questions. I wonder, is that because I have unlocked that particular character into a previous run-through in the story mode? Who knows, possibly. Okay, so now that I've recruited an elite agent, I cannot recruit any other elite agent. And I'm not choosing any Brazilian agents because all the agents that I'm recruiting are gonna have the Brazilian recon already, which means that I don't need to be recruiting a Brazilian agent that just offers me the very same thing. So I'm gonna skip for it now. I might be recruiting a Nigerian agent because my spouse is Nigerian. It is quite helpful to have an agent that can go to Nigeria and spy out more things. Okay, so we have the dealer here. So he has 4 different recons, one in the UK, which we might not be needing because Enigma also has one there, but he has in America, in the US of A, in France, and in Nigeria. So he's called the dealer. His name is Yul Oluwasola. He's from Nigeria, a businessman and diplomat, greedy and greedy. Greedy and greedy, yeah, the same thing, right? Yul could sell his mother if he was offered the right price. In the meantime, he's content to illegally sell Nigeria's unused land to industrialists around the world and weapons to rebels in Biafra, leading his own nation to ruin. So he's a shady guy. By doing his dark business, Yul has acquired many skills to make him a perfect agent. He knows how to remain discreet, knows how to convince, and would have a gift for anonymous computer transactions. For the time being, Nigeria has not yet understood the threat that Yul represents. But for how long? He's a negotiator. He's a high-profile agent, which means that he needs to be especially careful when moving between countries. He's a hacker as well. I don't need a hacker, so I'm gonna skip the dealer for now, and I'm gonna focus on a much more strength kind of guy. So let's go with a warrior. The witch is also good, and she doesn't have that many arrest warrants, but the warrior is also a bloodthirsty firearms expert. I'm okay by not having such a killing machine. I already have Wolf. Let's try the witch. Kemi Enitan. For many, Kemi is not a woman, but an avenging spirit. After her daughter was kidnapped and indoctrinated by Boko Haram, she set out to kill all members of the Islamist sect one by one. She said to be a witch capable of blending into the shadows, using all weapons and killing in all ways, resisting torture and traps, but also invoking the spirits of her ancestors to defeat her targets. If the legend is true, Kemi could be an exceptional field agent, so she's a Neil. She has developed a sixth sense, and when chased, she will be particularly elusive. She's bloodthirsty, she's a knife fighter, a master of disguise. She's an exfiltrations expert, and she's arrogant. She will never surrender. There is an arrest warrant for her in Nigeria, and she has a recon there. I guess it's okay. Let's try recruiting her. She has a dark past, but she seems quite potent herself. Why would I risk my own skin? Okay, I have the means to find the one you're looking for. That is your daughter, right? Let's try that out. I'm impressed. You've got yourself another field agent. Whoa! Success. So does that mean that we might be able to find her daughter in the story? Who knows, really? I haven't played with her at all, so let's see. So we already have a UK recon agent. Wolf doesn't have any recon, and the witch has in Nigeria. So we will be needing an agent that has a lot of recon. Whoa! The Empress. She's a master of disguise, she's a Willman, a high profile, and a ghost. Okay, she has the same skill that Brazil granted to the hacker that I got. And she's a master of disguise, a Willman. And she has recon to almost everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna go for the Empress. Her name is Fumiko Shoda. She's sister to Aiko, the future Empress of Japan. Whoa! Fumiko, named after her great-grandmother, has received an excellent education that is typical for the imperial family. A crisis arose in her majority when, to her family's outrage, she chose to lead her own life. Since then, she has lived in luxury hotels and tiny attics, meeting all types of people, alternating between eclectic passions such as poetry and driving in Formula One. A seasoned adventurer, she has gained worldly knowledge worthy of a true empress without ever even realizing it. So she's a tomboy empress in some sort of way, right? Okay, I like her passion and her spirit, so I might try to recruit her. Why would I risk my own skin? So it looks like they are asking us the same thing on and on. There's just one thing left for your life lessons: taking action. A seasoned adventurer, she has gained worldly knowledge worthy of a true emperor. She chose to lead her own life. Oh, she has taken action in her life. I mean, she has lived almost everywhere. Yeah. I'm here to offer a chance for the biggest adrenaline rush you've ever had, because she's a driver in Formula One. She might be looking for an adrenaline rush herself. You don't get me or what I'm about. Oh no! She didn't accept that. She didn't like that at all. It might have been prudent to have been more understanding, possibly. Who knows? Okay, we need to find someone else. Someone with a vast recon network, I guess. That's neither Nigerian nor UK one, because we already have that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the gypsy. But I have played with her, so I don't want to do so again. I need to try something new. Let's see whom to choose. Okay. I'm still looking, actually. It's quite difficult. I think we might have missed our great chance with the Empress. So let's go with something else. I might try for an agent that has a Russian background, a Russian recon, circle, Russian. Okay, let's try with Durak, Sergei Vadimovich Litvinenko, an ex-lieutenant colonel in the FSB with a good political future, a loyal patriot and highly practical. Sergei was in the front line during the Beslan hostage crisis, which resulted in hundreds of civilian deaths. Shaken by this experience, Sergei began to doubt the rightness of the traditionally tight grip of Russian power, and his career has been at a standstill ever since. To tell the truth, he's in unofficial retirement and is not being assigned any missions from the FSB, while they wait for him to leave of his own accord. If it wasn't for his scruples, he would be at the Kremlin by now. He's a firearms expert, a black belt, master of disguise, and methodical. Okay, and he has a recon in Russia. So he is the black sheep or something. So he has been laid off discreetly and nicely by the government, and we're gonna try to pick him up. Give me one good reason why I should work with you. So he was in the front line, shaken by this experience, by the civilian deaths. So I'm gonna give him a crude answer saying we don't kill innocents here. I'm impressed, you got yourself another field agent. Cool! So we managed to have found our team of 4 agents, that is Enigma, Wolf, Witch, and Durak. And without further ado, let's proceed. Yep, so this is the team of our experts, of our spies, and I think that this is the point where I'll be wrapping up for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Join me on the next episode as we play with these 4 agents, try to race for the Sigma technologies and do justice to the entire Brazilian nation. Thank you very much for your time. See you next time.